I feel like me doing like a video podcast thing is going to add a lot more pressure for me to like be able to have my thoughts and my words more concise. I don't know why. It feels like the extra element. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, which, you know, what else is new? But I do miss this. I don't know. I don't want to say I miss talking because that sounds a bit like conceited. But I do miss processing things like this because I know it helps a lot of people, and I know that it's useful for me, especially on days where I don't have a lot of like human interaction, which is really weird to say. And I think me being an extrovert, that's really hard, especially an introvert. Did I say introvert? Extrovert. Being an extrovert, that's what makes it hard, because like I want to be an introvert where I can just recharge by myself and be good with my presence, you know. And I thought that was like a form of self-hatred where I couldn't like just be in my own company. And I've been working on it. Like I actually don't hate it, but it's just, I don't think it's that. I think it's just like I miss talking to people, and I think this is the way that I can kind of combat that. And I'm also kind of procrastinating on the presentation, so it's fine. It's dual purpose, but I will get the thing that I need to get done because I have to. It's called being an adult. Anyway, I wanted to process some of the thoughts that I've been having. Oh my God, I literally had not a flow in my head, but I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember. I know there's like imposter syndrome-y stuff. Yeah, okay. I think I can talk about that. I don't even remember what I fucking talked about in my last like a little update podcast, but that's okay. So I guess we can just start off with like, fuck, what did I talk about? I don't want to talk about convoluted bullshit. Okay. I think the biggest thing that's come up for me is like imposter syndrome stuff and like wanting to fix my relationship with time. I think I'll talk about the time thing because it's been I've just been kind of unconsciously battling that or trying to mend that relationship, and then I might go into the imposter syndrome, kind of like weaving in and out. There we go. We worked it out. Only fucking 3 minutes in, and it's chaotic as usual. But this idea of like my relationship with time, I'm very anxious when it comes to timing and time spent, right? So I guess on a more day-to-day basis, I have this notion where if I'm not out of the house or doing work by or at a certain time, I feel like the day, that sets the tone for the day. And that if I don't do the thing at the quote unquote right time, the day is wasted, no matter how early it is. And then my motivation goes out the window and I get overwhelmed. So like, I guess this could be an example. So the past couple weeks, I have not been waking up at 6 or 6:30 like I have been like the month before. I was really proud of that, of like getting up at 6. I felt like I had my shit together, and now that I'm having a hard time waking up. I think I've been waking up on my off days at like 7:30 or 8. Even then, that's been really hard, and I've been trying to keep a consistent rhythm because, you know, working overnights the past couple years, my body is like, you're finally getting sleep every single night. We're going to adjust however you want us to adjust. And waking up at 7:30 or 8 every day is not, I mean, it is realistic, it's fine. But then on the days I have class, like I have to get up earlier. So it's kind of out of whack, right? So that, I think that's why I've been wanting to keep with the 6:30, so that on the days I have school, it's just like I feel fine, or I feel as normal as possible, right? So now that I'm having trouble waking up and staying up, it almost feels like the rest of my day is going to be out of whack. And I know for me, the reason why it's been out of whack is for a couple of reasons. One is I've been kind of having depressive episodes, and my period is next week, and that's kind of when the depressive episodes really start, but it's been more consistent lately, and I think it's the season, the time of year. I always kind of get this way around this time of year, and I thought my medication was going to help a bit more, and it is helping. Like, I'm able to like at least like get up out of bed and not stay in bed, but it's not totally mitigated, which obviously that's not realistic for it to happen. So and that's fine. So today, the whole day, you know, I was like, okay, if you make breakfast right now, you're not going to get in the shower until this time. And then if you wanted to do your makeup, then that adds more time. So you have to sacrifice something. And I just feel like I wasn't being smart with the way I was spending my time, because I feel like really time well spent would indicate, well, I feel like the way you feel would indicate time well spent, right? So if I'm not eating at home and making that time, or like rushing through my shower or not putting makeup on, it's like that's part of my self-care, you know, like doing all of those things properly, no matter how much time it may take or whatever. And like, yes, like there are certain things that have time crunches, right? Like class starts or work or whatever. But if it's for a day like this, like I'm not answering to anyone but myself, you know? So I don't know why I'm putting so much pressure on myself to meet these expectations that I have all the power to change. I have all the time in the world, you know? And I think I kind of thought about that earlier, right? Like I was sitting at Phil's, I think right before I was about to leave, like I closed my laptop and I was like looking out the window, and you know, it's a pretty day, and I was like, dude, I have so much time. I have all the time in the world. Why am I so fucking pressed, right? And I feel like I can answer my own question most of the time, and I think that I have a fear of like this irrational fear that I'll die at a random time, or like my loved ones will die. It's not debilitating, but it's scarier than maybe it should be. And so because of that fear, I don't want to feel like I'm not spending my days well enough. So like on my days off with Kev, right, we compromise. I go to the gym a little bit later so he can sleep a little bit more. He goes way earlier because, you know, if I go too late, then I feel really shitty. So my ideal is like getting to the gym at 9. His ideal is waking up at 9. But we compromise, we meet in the middle, and by the time we get home, like this past Monday, I think we got home at like 11:30, right? And I was like, oh my God, it's almost the afternoon. I have things to do today, and I have to go to sleep at this time tonight, and I need to like decompress by this time. And then, you know, just that thinking too much into the future and like looking at my checklist. And also we have like one day off together because Tuesdays he's off, and then I have class all day, like literally from 9:30 to like 7. So it's like I want to make sure we have a good day off together, whether that be being productive together or having fun. And I have such a hard time getting out of that, to the point where like if it's a really bad day like mentally for me, I kind of get paralyzed. Like I kind of like just sit here and I'm like, it's already 12:30. The day is gone. You know, and it's so stupid. Like, and Kev is very like go with the flow, like as long as I'm with you, I'm fine. And I'm like, me too. And also we have things to do. And I think I want to try and work on that. You know, I really want to try and just be as present as I can. And I don't know, I have all the time in the world, you know, within reason. Like, I wanted to get to Phil's at like 1 today, but I didn't get there until like almost 2. And that's fine. I still got a good amount of work done, and now I'm home. And I think I have this thing where I almost feel like you have to spend a certain amount of time somewhere for it to be worth it, right? So the biggest example that I can think of is like if we go to, there's this mall that's like an hour away from us. And sometimes we just go to like walk around because they have stores that we don't have here, you know? Or like there'll be a place in San Jose that I really want to eat at, right? And then I have to be like, well, since we're already there, we might as well do something else. Make it worth our while, right? But then Kev is like, we can just go because you're craving this thing and then just come back. And I'm like, you want to spend 2 hours of your day driving total for this one thing that'll take us like maybe 20 minutes to get, and if we want to eat there, maybe like an hour. Like that ratio, right? That 2 hours of traveling versus the one time spending there. And I feel like I have to even out that ratio or make the time spent there longer so I can justify driving all the way out there. And I forget that I'm an adult with my own car and our day off, and it's fine. It's fine if I want to just fucking go for an hour. And then I get in my head about like money and gas, and he's like, if you want it, let's just go. And I'm like, why are you so fucking supportive all the time? Okay, I don't need this. Maybe I do need it. I do need it. I need it for myself, and he's helping me, which I'm very appreciative of. But this is my coping mechanism. This is my, like, go away. Like, I don't, like, just go away. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like, okay, this is deep. I'm like, where does this come from, right? And I think it comes from my fucking childhood, right? Like, I should process that another time. I can't like process it right now because I can't like, I feel like I'm on a time crunch even here to like talk, which kind of is ironic for this subject, but it's fine. I deserve to spend my time the way I want it. As long as I'm getting my shit done, as long as I'm happy and taking care of myself, not harming someone else, you know, it's like I get to spend my time the way I want to. I don't have to answer to anyone. I'm not living with my parents anymore. I get to just fucking exist on my own terms. That's what I'm struggling with maybe. I'm having trouble existing and living my life on my own terms because I've been so used to asking for permission, for justifying what I want, because it felt like what I wanted. Like the fact that I wanted something wasn't enough. Like if I wanted to go anywhere, you know, in school, I'd be like, well, I want to go here because it's like right by this, you know, this library I can study at. So I, you know, or whatever the fuck that's not a real example, but that's something I just thought of. I guess I'm just struggling with having my own agency and independence. I've been living on my own for 2 years. And these like patterns of thinking and feeling I still need to work on and unlearn. Oh my God. Is it fun seeing or hearing me have these epiphanies? Because I kind of feel like it's fun, at least for me, obviously, for selfish reasons. But God damn, I really thought it was just about time. I don't know. I was like, where could this come from? And then of course there's like an underlying meaning to it. Fucking who knew, right? I guess that's my own homework for a week. I deserve to like have agency over the decisions I make and be happy with the decisions that I make and not apologize or justify every little thing. Why did that make me cry or like want to, like, why is that welling up tears for me right now, having to justify? I like the idea of justifying shit. I had this thought that I'm like, I feel like I've always had to justify my existence and justify why I'm important or why I'm worth anyone's time. Interesting. Well, that's fun. All right. So I guess that's kind of the bigger picture, right? Treating myself with the love and respect I would anyone else, and giving myself the same support that I would anyone else, because, I always talk about how everyone is inherently worthy of attention and love and affection just simply because you exist, and, you don't have to do anything to earn that. And I'm like, oh, I guess the same thing goes for me. I guess, right? This is why I missed filming videos and the podcast. I can talk about these things in therapy, right? And I can have that back and forth with a neutral party. But it's the sense of accomplishment I feel when I can kind of get to these conclusions on my own through means like this is really satisfying. And yeah. Why does it always come back to self-worth? Why does it always come back to fucking like, I deserve to exist, because I exist. Why does it always come back to that? I hate it. It's stupid. And it's so important. And I know it's important, but it's stupid. Yeah, I guess my homework for myself is that I don't have to justify everything. I think like I'm going to work on that, especially with Kev, right? Like I feel like whenever I ask for something, or not even ask for something, like do something, like I always feel like I have to make it up, right? So like tomorrow our first class on Thursdays, our teacher ended up giving us an option of like a hybrid class. So you can come in person if you want, you can do Zoom if you need to. But for me, I like to show up in person when I can, just because the in-person learning is really important to me. And, since I'm not working right now and Kev is the provider, which makes me uncomfortable for other, reasons, I guess, because I don't think I deserve to be taken care of. It's fine. We're not going to go there. I have to be like, okay, can I use the car tomorrow? And I promise I'll pick you up. You just have to Uber just there. And I won't go to my favorite coffee shop that's a little further this weekend. So I can kind of make up for gas because, I'm saving the time. I'm like making up the time. Right. And then he's just like, okay, like you can still go to the coffee shop this weekend if you want to, like, don't worry about gas. And I'm like, I'm going to worry about gas and time because I'm not working. I feel like I don't deserve to have the same luxuries as before because I'm not contributing, right? Like I'm using my loans to pay for other things. He's just paying, we're allocating expenses differently, right? And he's like, just don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Money is just money. And I'm like, money is not just money. We understand the value of money, obviously, because we have to. I think for him, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. He's really supportive of me. Oh my God, I'm crying. Sorry. Oh my God. Why am I sorry? This is my fucking podcast. What the fuck in the video? Okay. He is so supportive of the things that I want to do and the things that make me happy. And I think like early in this is so tangential. This is like going in different directions. In the beginning of our relationship, I wanted to just hang out with him. Like I not even in like a weird like, oh my God, like I just want to see my partner. Like, yeah, I don't have friends, right? It wasn't, I love my friends. Like like my chosen family, like I can't even properly describe how much I love them, but I genuinely loved hanging out with him, right? And also like the anxious attachment style that I have of like, if I don't see you all the time, you're going to like you're not gonna love me. And I think there were times where I was like, I asked him like, can I hang out with my friends, right? And he was like, fucking duh, go hang out with your friends. Not because he was tired of me, but because he knows how important my friends are, and also he thinks independence is important, blah, blah, blah. The day that I was like, hey, I'm going to hang out with my friends, he was like so proud of me because I didn't have to ask for his permission, or like, he was really proud that I felt comfortable enough to like make these decisions on my own. Oh dear God, I need to wrap this shit up because I am I think when I cry, that's a great indicator of like when I should end this. But anyway, for where I was going with that, yeah. I don't need to justify my existence anymore. I never should. I really should never have had to feel like that. But, you know, complex trauma is complex, right? It's complicated. On that note, we're going to end this now because I know this is kind of a weird place to end it, but I think I've been trying to keep my podcasts a bit shorter, like less than half an hour. So I think this is a good place. And I hope this gives you guys like a thing to reflect on. Like, I know everyone's like fundamental issues are different to everyone, obviously, but I don't know. I hope you resonated. Oh, well, no, I don't. Listen, I don't necessarily hope you resonated with anything, but I hope if anything resonated with you, maybe take the time to process it, you know, and for any of my friends watching, talk with me too. Like, I'm always here to talk about these things. I am in school to become a therapist, so I mean it's kind of my life now. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for listening / watching. Yeah, I hope this helped someone. I don't know. I hope it was as cathartic for me as it is for someone else, I guess. I don't know. So I guess, you know, my normal outro, maybe I need to come up with a new one eventually, but just remember, be yourself, spread love, stay beautiful, and I will see you in the next one. Don't know when that will be. Hopefully on a more consistent basis. Okay, bye.